Would you still consider the Ford Bronco if you knew the shocking truth behind its decline? The numbers, the reviews, and the problems tell a story you need to hear. When Ford relaunched the Bronco, it was an instant sensation, a direct challenge to the Jeep Wrangler, but today, it's a different story. Sales are down, owners are frustrated, and its future as an off-road leader is in doubt. But why is the Bronco struggling to compete? Is it falling short as an off-roader, or has Ford broken the trust of its loyal fans? Let's uncover the real reasons why you should think twice before buying one, and believe me, this is nothing like what you expect. Unreliable powertrain. The Ford Bronco was designed with a focus on performance, aiming to challenge the Jeep Wrangler head-on. One of the most significant ways Ford attempted to differentiate the Bronco was by opting for turbocharged engines, which they believed would offer superior performance and efficiency compared to naturally aspirated engines. However, this decision has come with significant drawbacks, and the Bronco's powertrain has proven to be unreliable in many cases. The Ford Bronco's base engine is a 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that delivers good torque and impressive fuel efficiency. However, it has been plagued by reliability issues, particularly with the turbocharger's wastegate. The turbo wastegate is responsible for controlling the flow of exhaust gases into the turbocharger to regulate boost levels. Unfortunately, this component has been known to fail, leading to a range of issues including poor engine performance, excessive oil consumption, and premature turbocharger wear. These problems are not isolated cases, and many Bronco owners have reported facing these issues within a relatively short time of ownership, raising concerns about the long-term reliability of the engine. In addition to the turbo wastegate problems, the Ford Bronco has also been criticized for its cooling system. Several owners have reported issues with the Bronco's cooling system, including overheating and insufficient cooling in high-performance conditions. Overheating can cause significant damage to an engine, and the Bronco's turbocharged engines are particularly vulnerable to this problem. Even more troubling, there have been reports of oil leaks, particularly in the 2.3-liter engine, which has led to Ford recalling certain Bronco models. These recalls were issued due to an insufficient seal at the oil galley plug, which could cause excessive oil leaks and increase the risk of engine failure. While Ford has taken steps to address the issue by offering free engine replacements to affected owners, the fact that such a significant problem exists so early in the vehicle's life cycle is concerning. For buyers looking for a reliable off-roading vehicle that can endure tough conditions, these powertrain issues may be a deal breaker. A vehicle that cannot reliably perform on the trails due to powertrain problems will undoubtedly disappoint its owners, especially those who plan to take their Bronco on challenging adventures. Ford's decision to prioritize turbocharged engines may have seemed like a step forward, but in practice, the engines have not proven to be as durable or dependable as needed for an off-road vehicle. If you value long-term reliability, you may want to look elsewhere for your next adventure-ready vehicle. Not the best off-roader. When the Ford Bronco made its highly anticipated return, it was touted as a vehicle that would surpass the Jeep Wrangler in off-road performance. Many saw it as a fresh competitor with the same rugged charm, but with a modern twist that promised to outdo its rivals. However, despite its bold marketing, the Bronco fails to truly measure up to the legendary Wrangler when it comes to tackling challenging terrain. One of the most critical aspects of an off-road vehicle is its ground clearance, and here, the Bronco shows its limitations. The base variant of the Ford Bronco offers just 8.4 inches of ground clearance, which might seem adequate on paper, but it falls short when compared to the Wrangler. The Jeep Wrangler, even in its base trim, boasts 9.7 inches of ground clearance. This difference may not seem significant at first glance, but when navigating over obstacles like rocks, uneven terrain, or deep ruts, every inch of ground clearance matters. The Wrangler's higher clearance provides it with an edge in these situations, allowing for better approach and departure angles and reducing the risk of scraping the undercarriage on tough trails. Beyond ground clearance, another area where the Bronco struggles in comparison to the Wrangler is in its tires and suspension system. The base model of the Bronco comes equipped with 30-inch tires, which are decent for casual off-road driving, but do not match the capability of the Wrangler's 31-inch all-terrain tires. These larger tires provide the Wrangler with superior traction and durability, particularly when navigating rough or rocky terrain. Additionally, the Wrangler is designed with a solid front axle, a key feature for off-road off-road durability. The solid axle design is known for its toughness and ability to withstand the rigors of off-roading. In contrast, the Bronco uses a multi-link front suspension, which, while designed to offer a balance between on-road comfort and off-road capability, lacks the same level of durability and toughness that the Wrangler's solid axle provides. This makes the Bronco less reliable when subjected to harsh off-road conditions. Overall, while the Ford Bronco is undeniably capable and offers various performance upgrades in higher trims, its base configuration falls short of matching the Jeep Wrangler in terms of essential off-road performance features. If you're looking for a vehicle that can take you through the toughest trails with ease and confidence, the Bronco might not be your best bet. Interior quality. While the Ford Bronco's off-road capabilities and performance may be at the forefront of its design, interior quality is another area where it fails to meet the expectations set by its price tag. The Bronco may have been designed as a rugged off-roader, but it is also marketed as a modern SUV that can double as a daily driver. However, when it comes to the interior, the Bronco leaves much to be desired. One of the first things that buyers notice when stepping into the Bronco is the interior design, which initially appears stylish and trendy. Ford has incorporated a number of design elements that give the cabin a rugged, outdoorsy feel, with features such as round vents, grab handles, and various color schemes. However, upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that the interior materials do not reflect the quality one might expect from a vehicle in this price range. Many of the surfaces are made of hard, scratchy plastic, which feels cheap and unpleasant to the touch. This is particularly noticeable in areas that are frequently touched, such as the door panels and the center console. While the cabin's design may look appealing at first, the overall material quality is subpar and does not justify the premium pricing. Another significant issue with the Bronco's interior is the lack of attention to detail when it comes to passenger comfort. Despite being a modern SUV, the Bronco falls short in offering basic comfort features that are standard in many other vehicles. For example, the second row seats lack rear cup holders, which is a minor but noticeable oversight for a vehicle intended to carry multiple passengers. Additionally, some models even lack rear air conditioning vents, which can make the back seat uncomfortable, particularly on hot days. These are features that many buyers would expect as standard, especially considering the Bronco's price point. Furthermore, the Bronco's hardtop, which is designed to provide an open-air experience, is not as well thought out as it should be. While the idea of removing the hardtop to enjoy an open-air ride is appealing, the process itself is cumbersome and requires significant effort. The hardtop is quite heavy, and removing it typically requires two strong adults to do so. This makes it less convenient for daily use, as the process of removing and reattaching the top can be time-consuming and difficult. The complexity of this system is a far cry from the more user-friendly convertible tops found on other off-road vehicles, such as the Jeep Wrangler. Problematic transmission. The Ford Bronco has faced persistent issues with its transmission system, which is shared with other vehicles in the Ford lineup, such as the Ford Ranger pickup truck and the Ford Explorer sports utility vehicle. This commonality in components might initially seem like a cost-effective design choice, but it has led to a host of problems that have caused significant frustration among owners. Transmission reliability has become a critical concern, with many users reporting issues that are not only inconvenient, but also costly to repair. One of the most frequent complaints involves gears slipping during operation. This issue is particularly worrisome as it impacts the vehicle's drivability and safety. Many owners have described situations where the transmission fails to engage properly, causing the vehicle to lose power unexpectedly. Such problems have led to moments of uncertainty and danger, especially during highway driving or while navigating off-road terrain where precise gear engagement is crucial. Another widespread issue is the occurrence of a burning smell emanating from the transmission. This alarming symptom typically arises under heavy use, such as towing or extended off-road driving, which are precisely the activities for which the Ford Bronco is marketed. The burning odor often signals excessive wear on the transmission components, raising concerns about long-term durability and the potential for costly repairs. Additionally, rough gear shifts, particularly during downshifting, have been reported by a large number of Bronco owners. These abrupt and unrefined transitions between gears diminish the driving experience, making the vehicle feel less responsive and refined than its competitors. Such issues are not what one would expect from a modern off-road oriented sports utility vehicle, especially given the Bronco's price point and marketing as a premium product. Manual transmission enthusiasts, who were initially excited about the availability of a 7-speed manual option, have also encountered their fair share of difficulties. A common complaint involves dry bearing noises that become noticeable from the very first day of ownership. This grinding or whining sound is not only irritating but also indicative of underlying mechanical issues. In many cases, Ford dealerships have acknowledged these problems and offered full transmission replacements at no cost to the owners. However, the replacement process often takes weeks to complete, leaving customers without their vehicles for extended periods and further eroding trust in the brand. Expensive upgrades. The Ford Bronco's initial appeal was tied to its promise of delivering rugged off-road performance at a competitive price. However, as time has passed, the true cost of owning a fully capable Bronco has become evident. The base model might appear reasonable at first glance, but upgrading to higher trim levels or adding essential off-road features quickly drives up the cost, making the Bronco an increasingly expensive proposition. For those seeking the full off-road experience, the price climb is particularly steep. The mid-range trims of the Bronco, which come equipped with additional features such as upgraded suspension systems and enhanced traction control, can easily surpass $50,000. If buyers opt for the high-performance Bronco Raptor, they may find themselves approaching the 6-figure mark. This places the Bronco in a price range that is typically reserved for luxury vehicles, making it difficult to justify for buyers who are primarily interested in off-road capability. When comparing the Bronco to its main competitor, the Jeep Wrangler, the disparity becomes even more apparent. The Wrangler offers similar upgrades at a lower cost, providing better value for those who want a capable off-road vehicle without breaking the bank. The Wrangler's most basic model starts at a significantly lower price, allowing buyers to invest in optional upgrades without reaching the Bronco's exorbitant price points. Even at the higher trim levels, the Wrangler remains a more cost-effective choice, offering a wide range of features without straying into luxury car territory. The cost of upgrading the Bronco is not limited to the price of the vehicle itself. Buyers who invest in higher trims or additional features often find that these upgrades come with ongoing expenses. For example, the Bronco Raptor's specialized tires and suspension components require more frequent maintenance and replacement, adding to the long-term cost of ownership. These hidden expenses can catch buyers off guard, especially those who were initially drawn to the Bronco for its perceived affordability. Another factor contributing to the Bronco's high upgrade costs is the lack of standard features in the base model. While the Bronco's entry-level version is marketed as a capable off-road vehicle, many of the features that make it competitive with the Wrangler are only available in higher trims. This forces buyers to pay a premium for capabilities that should arguably be standard in a vehicle designed for off-road performance. Features like advanced four-wheel drive systems, larger all-terrain tires, and reinforced skid plates are essential for serious off-road enthusiasts, but are not included in the base model. This piecemeal approach to pricing makes the Bronco feel less like a well-rounded product and more like a series of costly add-ons. Finally, the limited availability of certain high-demand trims and features has created additional hurdles for potential buyers. Supply chain issues and production delays have made it difficult to obtain specific configurations of the Bronco, particularly the more affordable trims with desirable options. As a result, many buyers are forced to settle for higher-priced models or face long wait times, further increasing the financial burden of owning a Bronco. Price hike. When the Ford Bronco made its grand reappearance, it quickly became a fan favorite, largely due to its affordability. At the time of its initial launch, the Bronco positioned itself as a more budget-friendly alternative to its primary rival, the Jeep Wrangler. This competitive pricing was a major selling point, drawing in off-road enthusiasts and everyday drivers alike. However, as time passed and demand for the Bronco soared, Ford began incrementally raising the vehicle's price. What once seemed like a reasonably priced option for those seeking adventure has now become a costly investment, alienating many potential buyers. In the early days, the base model of the Ford Bronco was priced competitively, offering consumers a chance to own an off-road vehicle for less than its Wrangler counterpart. Over time, however, the story shifted. Ford's pricing strategy saw steady increases, and now the most affordable Bronco comes with a hefty price tag exceeding $41,000. Meanwhile, the base model of the Jeep Wrangler remains far more accessible, starting at just under $32,000. This significant price disparity between the two vehicles has become a major sticking point for budget-conscious buyers. Adding to the frustration, Ford made the controversial decision to discontinue the Bronco's most basic variant altogether. By eliminating this entry-level option, Ford widened the gap between the Bronco and the Wrangler, both in terms of price and accessibility. While some might argue that the Bronco offers more features in its base model, the stark difference in costs leaves little room for debate among consumers looking for the most affordable option. Even with superior equipment on paper, the Bronco's price hike leaves it struggling to compete with the Wrangler's reputation for delivering better off-road performance in its base form. As buyers explore mid-range and higher trims, the situation only becomes more extreme. The mid-range Bronco models now surpass $50,000, placing them firmly out of reach for many. At the top of the spectrum, the highly capable Ford Bronco Raptor creeps dangerously close to the six-figure mark, a price tag more associated with luxury SUVs than rugged off-roaders. For prospective buyers, this dramatic escalation in cost makes the Bronco less of a viable option and more of a financial stretch. In contrast, Jeep Wrangler pricing has remained relatively steady, reinforcing its position as a dependable and affordable alternative. Sound insulation issues. While the Ford Bronco's retro design and rugged capabilities have earned it a loyal following, its performance and sound insulation leaves much to be desired. Driving a vehicle designed for off-road adventures inevitably comes with some trade-offs, but the excessive noise levels in the Bronco go beyond what many owners anticipated. The vehicle's boxy design, high ground clearance, and massive all-terrain tires, while excellent for off-road purposes, create a perfect storm for intrusive road noise, particularly during highway driving. These issues make for a less than pleasant experience for drivers seeking both adventure and comfort. One of the biggest contributors to the Bronco's noise problem lies in its hardtop versions. Numerous owners have reported that the factory-installed sealing does a poor job of sealing out external noise. This flaw is particularly noticeable during high-speed driving, where wind noise seeps into the cabin, creating an uncomfortably loud environment. Unfortunately, even the addition of insulation in some models fails to adequately address the issue, leaving many Bronco drivers frustrated. For a vehicle with a starting price exceeding $41,000, this level of discomfort is hard to overlook. The design of the hardtop itself also poses practical challenges. While removable tops are a common feature in off-road vehicles, the Bronco's hardtop is notably heavy and cumbersome to handle. Requiring at least 2 strong adults to remove it, the process is far from convenient for those who wish to alternate between an open-air and closed cabin driving experience. This inconvenience further underscores the limitations of the Bronco's design and its inability to balance ruggedness with user-friendly features. The sound insulation issues extend beyond wind noise. Owners of the Ford Bronco have also reported problems with road and tire noise, particularly on rougher terrain or poorly maintained roads. The massive all-terrain tires, which are a key feature of the vehicle's off-road capabilities, contribute significantly to this problem. While they perform admirably in off-road conditions, their loud hum becomes an unwelcome companion during everyday drives, particularly on paved roads and highways. In response to these issues, some Bronco owners have resorted to aftermarket solutions in an attempt to mitigate the noise. Adding additional sealing materials around the doors, windows, and cargo area is a common approach, but even these efforts often fall short of delivering the desired level of quiet. For many, the lack of effective sound insulation represents a major oversight in the Bronco's design, especially for a vehicle that markets itself as a versatile all-rounder. The Jeep Wrangler, while not without its own shortcomings, manages to fare better in this regard. Its designers have struck a better balance between off-road capability and cabin comfort, resulting in a vehicle that feels more refined despite its rugged purpose. For prospective buyers who value a quieter cabin and a more comfortable driving experience, the Bronco's sound insulation issues present a compelling reason to look elsewhere. Ride quality. The Ford Bronco, celebrated for its rugged off-road capabilities, presents a clear challenge when it comes to balancing off-road prowess with on-road comfort. While its designers intended to create a vehicle that could tackle both terrains efficiently, the execution leaves much to be desired, particularly for drivers who expect smooth performance on paved roads. Unlike its direct competitor, the Jeep Wrangler, which unapologetically embraces its off-road first design with solid front and rear axles, the Bronco employs a multi-link suspension setup at the front. This decision was meant to offer a compromise, aiming to provide a softer, more versatile ride for daily driving. However, the reality is that this compromise does not fully succeed in either domain. On paved surfaces, the Ford Bronco's ride quality is far from what one might expect from a modern sport utility vehicle. Excessive body lean in corners is a recurring complaint from drivers, and this lack of stability can make highway and city driving a less than ideal experience. Furthermore, the suspension system, which was designed to absorb off-road bumps and jolts, struggles to deliver a smooth ride when faced with urban streets or long highway stretches. As a result, the Bronco tends to feel bumpy and unsettled, especially when compared to unibody crossovers equipped with advanced all-wheel drive systems. These more refined vehicles manage to offer both off-road capability and on-road comfort, leaving the Bronco feeling outdated in this regard. The limitations of the Ford Bronco's suspension system extend beyond comfort to questions of durability. While the multi-link setup may appear modern, it lacks the ruggedness and reliability of the Wrangler's tried-and-true solid axle configuration. Solid axles have long been favored by off-road enthusiasts for their ability to withstand the punishing conditions of extreme terrain, and the Bronco's decision to forego this approach places it at a disadvantage. Over time, the multi-link suspension has shown signs of wear that raises concerns about its ability to endure heavy off-road use. This lack of durability only reinforces the perception that the Bronco, while capable, falls short of the reliability standards set by its competition. The overall ride quality of the Ford Bronco underscores a broader issue with its design philosophy. It is caught between two worlds, attempting to appeal to both hardcore off-roaders and everyday drivers, but excelling at neither. For drivers who prioritize comfort and smooth handling, a modern crossover with all-wheel drive capabilities remains a more sensible choice. Meanwhile, for those who demand uncompromising off-road performance, the Jeep Wrangler's more robust design and superior suspension system make it the clear winner. In trying to bridge the gap, the Bronco ultimately fails to deliver a satisfying experience in either category. Lack of trust in the brand. Trust in a brand is a cornerstone of customer loyalty, and for Ford, the Ford Bronco represents both a promise and a challenge. When the Bronco was relaunched, it came with the weight of history behind it, a legacy of toughness and adventure that many expected to continue seamlessly. However, persistent quality issues across various components of the vehicle have chipped away at this trust, leaving buyers questioning whether the Bronco is truly built to last. One of the most significant areas of concern is the Bronco's reliability. From its powertrain to its transmission, numerous reports from owners highlight recurring problems that undermine confidence in the vehicle's long-term durability. These issues are not isolated incidents. Rather, they are widespread enough to suggest deeper flaws in Ford's manufacturing processes. For example, the turbocharged engines, which were intended to offer superior performance and efficiency, have been plagued by mechanical failures. Complaints about turbocharger reliability, overheating, and oil leaks are common, even in relatively new models with low mileage. Such problems are particularly troubling for an off-road vehicle, where reliability under tough conditions is paramount. Beyond the engine, the transmission system has also proven problematic. The automatic transmission, which is shared with other Ford models like the Ranger and Explorer, has drawn criticism for issues such as slipping gears, rough shifting, and even burning smells under heavy use. Manual transmission variants have fared no better, with numerous reports of dry bearing noises appearing almost immediately after purchase. These reliability problems, often appearing within the first few thousand miles of use, create a frustrating ownership experience and erode the perception of quality that Ford aims to project with the Bronco. The issue is compounded by Ford's response to these problems. While the company has issued recalls to address specific defects, such as oil leaks and faulty engine seals, these efforts have not been enough to restore full confidence in the vehicle. For many owners, the experience of dealing with recalls, extended repair times, and unresolved issues has been a source of ongoing frustration. Each recall not only highlights a failure in the manufacturing process, but also serves as a reminder to consumers that the Bronco may not be as dependable as they had hoped. The frequency of these recalls has also raised concerns about the broader reliability of Ford's quality control measures, further damaging the brand's reputation. The Ford Bronco's struggles with trust underscore the high stakes of reviving a legendary nameplate. While the vehicle has undoubtedly succeeded in generating excitement and capturing attention, its long-term success depends on its ability to meet the expectations of its buyers. As things stand, the gap between promise and reality remains too wide, leaving many to question whether the Bronco can truly live up to its storied legacy.